Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Shaylin with the 8-Bit Co-op, and I am here with the second level of the Eothasian Temple, and we are going to see what the second level has to shake and bake for us. So, let's go ahead and see what we have going on. I know, it's not good if it says find the remains of the priests, so obviously we're going to be running into undead and stuff. Like shadows. I'm down with shadows, killing shadows though. So, but let's put ourselves in our little sneak mode and do a little bit of sneaky cheesing around. Let me see. Looks like most of their spells are still replenished. So, let's go ahead and continue.
The better part of valor.
And maybe rest after the next battle. Oh, another set of shadows. Okay. That's the only thing about this game that really perturbs me. However, I understand why. Is, you know, the bowmen, you know, all tend to congregate at the door. And so, it's sometimes really hard for, like, the melee to get in. Okay, someone's deucing with their fists. She is blasting with her fists. Is there anybody else who's trying to knuckle it up? I bet you things go a little bit easier for her.
Yes.
Let's pull her back. Okay. Let's see what we got's going on. What is that? Spirit residue. Faint ethereal wisp of soul energy made manifest. Well, let's hope it's for crafting. Yes! Trap triggered. Minor ring of protection. Well, obviously someone needs that, so I'll just give it to him for now, and then we can kind of go from there, see who needs it. What does he have? Deflection and protection. Overseeing. Ability area of effect. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give that to my Priestigor, because I think that that is going to help my priest immensely. Give those to him. We'll use hers again. We'll use these traps at some point, which will be nice.
I shall. I'll have this open in no time.
Oh, a fine great sword. Okay.
The better part of valor.
Let me see. Do we have a two-hander? What are... Let me see what his... He's in athletics. Recovery, defender, fighting spirit, and knockdown. So you know what I'm gonna do? I mean, defender, that's more of a tanky thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and give him a two-hander. See what that does for his damage. And then I'm gonna take the bow and give him a sword and board as his off. So that, because he's going to be our melee character, we don't really want our casters all up in other people's grills. So we want them all to have, you know, their range. As a matter of fact, these two I'm probably at some point going to just dump into here to sell at some point. Okay, let's go down here. See what we got cooking over here. What's over here? Okay, it looks like another shadow and a shadow. Shadows aren't that difficult, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them on in. Oh, nice. But there's not just one, there's like 18 million. Well, I may exaggerate just a little bit, but we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus fire. We're gonna focus fire them all on this one for right now. Or we are going to buff the party from her, and where is he? And have him try to light these guys up before they get here. Let's see what this person can do with these ones. You know what?
Yes.
Now let me see what... Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I gotta bounce it off of him to someone? Maybe? I don't know, it's really weird. Okay, so that kind of blew up in our little facey muscles because he also lit up one of our guys. Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of took me by surprise initially, was that you can kind of blow your own people up fairly quickly. So I was not aware you could do that in the very beginning, but yeah, your people die real quick.
All right then.
So
Indeed. It's done.
oh, she just got a dart trap. That's awesome. Let's see if she can undo this trap.
It's done.
Ooh, and a fireball trap. And a cape. Okay. So. Wait, what's that say? Oh, that's a phantom. So let's go ahead and kill the phantom before we do anything.
How may I help?
Okay, you can help
Lava will be unseated.
by casting some spells and lighting some people up. You know, I've known people that, like, when you work with them, they know what you want and they know what's needed, but they'll say, hey, do you need anything? And you're just sitting there going, you're just looking at them like, did you seriously just ask that? Did you seriously just ask that? And people are like, why do you get so frustrated? Are you serious? Why am I getting frustrated? Because you just asked. What can I do for you? And I'm sitting here knowing that you know exactly what needs to be done. like he just did. But, oh well, I guess you can't get rid of it in a video game either. How'd you get there? I think after this guy, we'll go ahead and rest. Our people are getting kind of low on health down here. He's a little dazed, confused. Not to be confused with dazed and confused, which is, I think, trademarked or something like that. Okay, so I really do like these cinematics. That fire makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. I'll tell you, one time
Quiet.
we went camping. We decided to take the kids camping, right? And we were going to quote unquote rough it. It was craziness, I will tell you that. Absolute craziness. Let's just say we went out and we went on property of people we know so that, you know, the kids knew what the property was and they knew it was safe. However, you know, it still freaked them out, and they'd never slept on the dirt before, rocks or anything like that. And they ended up having trouble sleeping and having trouble basically figuring out how to cut through the woods and do all that. So it was quite interesting because, let me save this before I start telling my stories, because that's what happens, is I start telling my stories and I end up dying. But they'd never been out in anything like that before, and they got all freaked out and ended up getting scared, and I felt bad for them. Well, our son was like 8. I mean, he wasn't that old, and he woke up and like 3 o'clock in the morning and was scared. So we ended up bringing the kids back, you know, back home. But of course, being in the South, before we brought them back home, we went ahead and took them to, I think it was Whataburger for something to eat first, you know. But it was just one of those experiences where,
Easy now.
you know, life experience just pays you so much that the kids just don't understand. I don't know. Oh, I see the stairs over here, but I really want to explore the rest
I'll
of
have this open in
this
no
floor
time.
first. But that's something that we're going to be doing more, is, you know, taking the kids out to camp, because I think that being self-sufficient in something like that would be very helpful for them. You know, getting to know how to start a fire. Oh, we didn't do this whole wing right here, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull them back here. But getting them know how to start a fire, getting them know how to, you know, even catch some food on their own or anything like that is going to be pretty important. You know, especially if they decide to,
Easy now.
and I will say, forbid, go into, like, the military or something, you know. But, you know, it's not my fondest wish for any of my children to go in the military. However, you know, I will support them no matter what they do.
Lava will be unseated.
Okay. Now we need to get her to hopefully heal over here before he dies. Yay! Okay. These phantoms aren't a joke, man. I mean, they really can mess some people up. Okay. I hope those are worth something really good in crafting. Laying low.
Let's see what we've found.
Ooh, we found something. We found a brick in the wall. Bloodstone, amethyst, agate, and copper panned. It's not within our natures to forgive. Those who seek redemption seek a long and winding path, a road which takes us down into the very hollows of our soul and asks us to reflect upon the fractured aspects of ourselves. You know, I just said, you know, a brick in the wall, and that just reminds me, and this is gonna, I don't want to say age me, because it won't age me per se, but date me? Can something date me? Well, you know, but it'll date me a little bit. But, like, the song Another Brick in the Wall, it's a 70s song, but I like that song. It's kind of a cool jam. But, okay, let's see what we got going on down here. Lesser black ooze. Okay. Anything else? Another lesser black ooze. Well, there's a pool of water here, so... Okay, and what is this? Oh, a shadow. Well, we can do shadows. So let's hope the lesser black oozes is good. Oh, there's like 4 of them. Well, that's not very nice. So let's move him over here and see if he can't do something. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We did not rest like we were going to do. That is just the crapsters. I just cannot believe I did that. Or I just wish that I couldn't believe I did do that. So... let's have these two. Well, these two. See, in kindergarten, they didn't quite teach me how to draw a square very well. So, that was neat. Now let's have those fight that. Now let's have everything fight that. And I think after this would be a really good time for me to rest. A jasper. Ooze plasma. A congealed mass of thick and opaque jelly. I wonder what kind of jelly. I'm not good at grape jelly. Grape jelly's not my favorite.
Alright.
Matter of fact, hate to tell you, can't do grape jelly. At all. Now, you give me some strawberry preserves, I'm good. Oh, Eater. Adair. You wake up to the sensation of being shaken, and you open your eyes to see Adair standing over you, his hand jostling your shoulder. He looks concerned. Your eyes are heavy and your vision blurred, the vague unease of unremembered nightmares clouding your thoughts. You're not sure you slept at all the previous night.
Hey. Hey. You awake? Good. You were kind of thrashing around, eyes rolled back in your head. You were shaking. I'm gonna snap you out of it for a long time now. I was gonna have to get a bucket of cold water. You don't seem like you get much rest at night. You got those dark circles under your eyes.
Not lately. At night there are dreams. And whispers.
Well, it's the Watcher thing, then. I'm sure it just takes some time to adjust is all. I'll try to let it sort itself out. You'd better wake up faster next time. Trust me, you don't want that bucket of cold water.
No, you don't want that bucket of cold water.
Easy now.
Let's see what we can find in this room, if anything, in our super stalker fast mode. There's a switch. There's a screech of metal and a snapping noise as you pull the lever. Now here's the thing. Is it a lever or is it a lever? Or is it both? Depending on where you're from. Remind me never again to help kill my god again. Remind me never to help kill my god again. The light rises from the bones as you approach. You have a moment to register the faintest image of a standing figure, features a blur of mist or smoke before the world tilts. It is as if you have stepped sideways and into a new life. You are racing down a flight of stairs, following a weaving circle of torchlight. Your own panting breaths are loud in your ears. Panic and your robes alike foul your steps, and you nearly stumble before a hand reaches out to grip your arm and steady you, a fellow acolyte, who smiles encouragement as you reach the bottom. You run around and past the shallow reflection pool that marks the lowest point of the temple, following the dark shapes of the older priests as they lead the way towards the narrow hall that leads to the vault. You pass one of the torchbearers as you go. The harsh illumination of the flames reveals a familiar face. For a moment your awareness spans time and identity, and you think Wharton has joined you, here at the bottom of the temple. In the memory he glances at you for a moment, then looks past at someone else. "I'll come back once they're gone," he's saying. You're being pressed along by the crowd, and his words are growing faint. "Just keep quiet. We can't take any chances." Inside the vault, golden relics gleam like welcoming stars. The memory twists, jarring you loose from one moment and plunging you into another like a flung doll. There is only darkness around you now. You think yourself blinded until the knowledge settles onto you like a cloak. The candles have all burned away. You know now, too, with a sick certainty, that nobody is coming. There's a cracking noise somewhere to your left, a wet slurping gurgle, and a ragged sop. You cannot see, and so you cannot know which brother or sister has fallen, and which digs after water a body may provide. You hear, in the faint murmuring to your right, the familiar cadence of prayer, but you no longer recognize the words. You are too tired to do harm. The thirst is like a fire within you. Your tongue is thick in your throat, and every breath is a struggle that leeches strength from you. There is a light, they said, and at the end of every bout of darkness, but this one does not end. The spirit releases you, and you come back to yourself, in pieces. Your vision clears, and the vault around you is revealed once more, cast in muted hues by the sickly illumination of the soul still drifting like fading fog. Fear wafts off the spirit in waves, fraying at your own emotions. I'm sorry, I hope you find peace in the next life. The spirit seems to withdraw into itself. You sense less of its fear and confusion as it recedes, but the soul lingers still. No matter how many times I see you staring off at nothing, it doesn't get less weird. Gather the remains. You spend a few moments gathering up what you can find of the bones of the priests. It proves a heavy and gruesome burden, but you manage to recover them all.
Easy now.
Some of the gold leaf on these relics is chipped away to reveal the wood beneath. There are tooth marks upon one of the bowls. Some Adra.
I'll have this open in no time.
Oh. Oh, a named flare and a named flail and a pry bar. Oh, wow. Potion of minor regeneration. Eothasian prayer. Which I'm not going to read at all. And then this stand rocks unsteadily on its base. It seems that the mechanism is broken. There are faint scratches upon the brickwork by the door hinges. So Wharton knew what was going on. He's dirty. So now we just need to decide what we're going to say to Wharton when we go back, eventually. However, there is more to explore down here and up here. So I'm going to go ahead and call it for this episode and continue level 2 of the Temple of Eothas, and then complete this quest on the next episode. So I want to thank you for joining me in this episode of Pillars of Eternity, and I hope that you come back to see the exciting conclusion of the temple in the next episode.